Hi fellow tilters, I want to show you my recent changes that I've made in the prototype over here. Major changes, putting in electric power steering on the front. I took off the handles and the foot pedals, and yeah, it looks a little odd having a steering wheel and handlebars over here, but the reason for this is at the top of the steering column over here you've got a spline fitting that's embedded in the steering wheel. So I needed that, and I still need my steering wheel. So I made an adapter plate to be able to mount the handlebars on the front over here. And it works fine, it's not hardly in the way. Now it's up a little higher than what I want, but I didn't want to have to cut the steering column in case I need to use this electric power steering column later on. I lifted the seat up 2 inches, and I've got a 1-to-1 ratio here from the front and back. So this is 10 inches in the back, and so essentially a 45-degree tilt means a 45-degree change in the angle over here on the steering, right here. What I'm finding is that's way too tight. It needs far more leverage for the electric power steering. If I turn the electric power steering on, I hear it click over here. I've got it turned all the way up right here now. So if I do that, you can see how it kicks it over. For some reason the right side is not kicking quite as hard. Well, no, it is. It's just where it is in the cycle over here. But here's just the weight of this thing. It won't even bring it up here without me even sitting on it. So of course this thing doesn't work at all if I try to ride this thing with the electric power steering. I cannot steer it at all. It doesn't have nearly enough power. So I've got to change the ratio. If this is going to work with electric power steering, I've got to get this motor spinning way more than just 45 degrees over here to tilt this thing. It's just a tremendous amount of torque. The other thing I changed is the front wheel. I put the Razor motorcycle front wheel on. I wanted to test front brakes on a freighted caster setup. That seems to be working fine. It works good. And of course I put the dampener over here. What's nice about having it in a 1-to-1 ratio is that you can directly tie it over here, because you're not steering the steering wheel more than a 45 degree, and that works great for direct connection. If I go to a 5-inch over here, so I have a 2-to-1, then we're turning the steering wheel all the way to here in either direction over here to do a 45-degree tilt. That'll help, but I've got a gut feeling that that's not even going to be enough based on how this thing is working over here and the power that this electric power steering is giving me right here. So anyway, that's my first cut at it right there. And so I've got this extra battery on here to power the electric power steering. It saps quite a bit of power, and so it doesn't last very long before the battery's dead. So my next move is to go to a smaller pulley over here, and I'll try that out before I gear all this up here for the dampener. It'll probably won't work, and I'll need to go even more of a ratio over here. I'm thinking about actually taking the motor, separating it from the steering column over here, where you've got the torque valve, and the way it's hooked up, it's got power over here, so the controller controls the motor. Whenever you torque it, turns the motor on, and if you really crank it hard, it cranks it up even harder. But you need to be able to have this thing where it can really spin to move it up or down. It's got a lot of torque, but it's limited on how much it's going to give you over there. You've got to give it the right torque. Anyway, thought you'd be interested in seeing that.